So I picked up World of Warcraft in September, and today I thought I'd make a video a little bit about how World of Warcraft reinvigorated my interest and my passion for playing games. I'm closer to 30 than I am 20 now, and I'll be honest with you, over the last 3, 4, 5 years, my interest in games has been coming gradually down, and I've not wanted to play that much for a whole bunch of reasons. I've put myself walking here in the background just because I think everyone was bored of just looking at my face last time. But I'll try and jump into it, and I'll try not to waffle, and I'll try and be direct. But yeah, I picked up the game in September. I had not that much understanding of what the game was, how you could play it, what was involved, what the community was like. I basically had no idea, and I just jumped straight in. And for me personally, it's been an absolute revelation. I think part of playing the game and my interest in it has been making this content, and I'll be honest with you. But World of Warcraft has brought back such a massive interest in games, but also more importantly than that, community within games. And I think as you get older, and rightly so, lots of people go off and do different things, different jobs, different responsibilities, different pressures, all these different things. So everyone's doing other things. So your crew that you might have been playing with when you were an early teen tends to phase out, tends to fade away. People are off doing different things, playing different games, whatever. And I think as I've got older, closer to 30, lots of my friends don't really play anymore. And I found myself as a younger man being really interested in being competitive with playing games. And don't get me wrong, I still have a little bit of that in me. But when I was younger, I wanted to play competitive game modes. I wanted to be top of the leaderboard. I played loads of Call of Duty, loads of Halo, and I wanted to be doing the best on the team, winning the free-for-alls, playing the competitive game modes. And I don't think I realized back then that a really integral part of that was the community, the social aspect, the getting on and playing with your clan or your friends or whatever it was back then. Getting on, having a laugh, but playing competitively and directly. And as I've got older, people fade away. Those usual people aren't online. Your clan disbands and your groups disband. And so you're left in a situation where you're thinking, do I want to keep playing this? And I think the reality is, as you get a bit older, and I am generalizing, so please, if you're one of these people who's still going, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's lots of incredibly good 30-year-olds at Call of Duty. But what you come up against is a lot of 16-year-olds who have the passion that you had when you were 16 in your, Fortnite or Call of Duty, whatever it is. They're playing with their friends, they're all keen, they're all ready to go, they're all fired up, testosterone's boosted. And quite frankly, if you're playing by yourself, you get absolutely cooked. And I think it goes into a deeper, issue within games in general, skill-based matchmaking, and just the competitive nature of all games. And I know I'm going off on a tangent, but actually it's coming to my head, so I feel like it's important. It is really hard to play multiplayer games now without them feeling like it's an absolute grueler every game. Every game is intense, every game is competitive. Sometimes I'll log on to Call of Duty and I just get absolutely cooked. It isn't a couch game anymore. You can't sit back on your, your sofa and play on the couch like I did, and probably like you did when you were younger. We got home from school, we sat on the sofa, maybe there was one TV in our house. We loaded up Call of Duty for an hour and we sat down, we played, we had some good games because we were fine, some bad games because we weren't so good. But nowadays, everyone's playing on monitors, on PCs, PS5s. There's multiple screens, they've got monitors, they've got quick refresh rate, they've got the best settings on, they've got all these different things. And it's hard to compete with someone who's really focused on being good. And so I think for me, over the years, my group has dispersed, less friends online, less people online. And also the ages of people that are playing the games that I play. I'm going to get attacked by a spider here, which is no good. We'll just let the spider kill me. If it kills me, then we'll see if we can run away. Let me just try and run away. There we go. Has changed. And so I can't keep up with it, to be honest with you. I couldn't keep up with it. And I lost my interest and passion for it because of those two reasons. I have tried to continue to play it, and I've tried to play single player games. But World of Warcraft has, I think, solved my problem as an older person and a very social individual. And the community aspect of World of Warcraft has been absolutely awesome. And again, I'm very lucky that I started a little community, and we got a little community and people wanted to help me and guide me, which has been incredibly helpful. But also just in general, the World of Warcraft community is so passionate, so dedicated to the game. People have been playing it for 20 years, that it was really nice and it was really refreshing to come into something where people absolutely love it. Do people have their gripes? Do people get annoyed with things? Do people get angry about it? Of course, it's something they're passionate about. People get angry about things they're passionate about. But it was incredible to turn up in a place where people wanted to engage, people wanted to share what was going on. And to be honest with you, I lost the passion and ability to go into a search and destroy lobby in Call of Duty and get abused by a bunch of people as a person playing by myself. And I'm sure you do get that in World of Warcraft, but not so much. And so the community has been incredible, and the engagement with the game has been incredible. And I know that there's lots of other, you know, MMOs and games that have really amazing communities. I know that for sure. But something about the World of Warcraft community for me just fit. Something about it just worked. I think it's such a diverse set of people, obviously it being the biggest MMO, such a diverse group of people that you can find your crowd. You can find the people that work for you in whatever area of World of Warcraft that is. And that's just a social aspect. I think the other thing World of Warcraft has done for me, and this is a tip for anyone who feels like they, you know, don't know what games to play or anything like that, it is quite simply a game I have never played before. I have never played an MMO. I've played RPGs, I've played adventure games, action games, I've played sports games, FPS, but never an MMO. I've never played a game so vast, so expansive, so all-encompassing as World of Warcraft. So when I play this, it's like logging on for the first time every time, if that makes sense. And that's after 6, 7, 8 months. I still log on and I go like, oh, I've only got 80 mounts and there's 900. My character's only level 78 and I've got to get it to 80. How do I do that? I've only done one of the expansions, or two of the expansions now. Am I going to go and complete the rest of them? Probably should, right? And so for that reason, it's so epic. Like, what the hell's going on here? A giant acorn or a giant rock? No idea. But that's why it's so cool. And it's so good to just see loads of people online doing tons of different things in the game. And so the style of game, what is happening here, is awesome. And I think what's happening right now is a good demonstration. This person's running away from this two-headed troll, or running with this two-headed troll. It's just a world that feels alive. And it feels great. And I know that my default temperament is towards wanting things big. Pardon the pun. And so games like Red Dead Redemption 2, I've loved. Obviously a very different game, but also vast. Skyrim, one of my favourite games of all time, and I also love, also vast. World of Warcraft just hits the spot for epic. It hits the exploring experience is amazing if you let it be. And I think lots of the comments that I get on these videos and other types of content is because people have played for so long, the game actually doesn't feel fresh. People know so much about it and have spent so many hours in it that lots of the language around the game is negative. And I think for new players, and this is what I'm making this video for, people who've been thinking about playing, you really should give it a go. And I would beg you to, and I didn't do it, play it blind. I think there's a problem with World of Warcraft. The fact that it's a subscription model feels like you're going to spend loads of money. You could play the game for 3 months, still less than a AAA game, right? 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, it's still less than a AAA game. You won't have done everything in 7 months, obviously, but you can get a lot done. You can explore and you can see whether it's worth carrying on playing. And I think if they remove the subscription and let people get a bit more involved for a longer period of time and then added it back in, I think that would be helpful, because I think it psychs people out. I also think because of the subscription model, it forces people to think about having to go and research the game more than just diving into it, because it feels like you're signing up to something. And so as a new player, I encourage you, buy a month, don't YouTube anything, unless you need a guide about how to do a certain thing, because that will happen. I just experienced the game for what it is, for the questing that goes on, and just explore it as if it was any other game and not even an MMO. And I know, again, that sounds silly, but for me, one of the big reasons, like I just said, it reinvigorated my passion for gaming, was that it felt like a completely different game. It felt like I was questing like I would in Skyrim, but with more layers, more details, more dungeons, more enemies, more options. But it was a good way to begin by playing it in a slightly familiar way. And I think that's the other thing that World of Warcraft does, is that I think if you get bored of the thing that you're doing in World of Warcraft, there is always another option. There is always something to go and look at, something to engage in. If you're bored of the questing, if you're bored of walking around like I am, or watch me walk around like I am, you could go and do PvP. You could learn how to do that. Maybe you do it in an arena, 1v1. Maybe you do it on a battlegrounds against whatever it is, 50 other people or 20 other people. Maybe you want to do more PvE gameplay and you start looking at M+, or now in the current state, you really get into doing delves. Who's this? No idea. Let's just carry on. And just go for whatever you enjoy, and also play the other types of the game. That's the other reason that World of Warcraft has got me super engaged. There's just so many options. If I've got a down day, I feel calm, relaxed, I feel chilled out, I log in and I do some PvE, I do some M+, because I've got a full day. I don't need to, I can use my energy playing the game. But if I've finished work and I want to have a chill game, I want to sit back, relax, maybe I'll load up Classic and I'll just, do a bit of casual leveling and push through and take the slower approach, a bit more of a grind, but I don't have to think about it too much. I can kind of switch off. Or maybe I've got the bug for collecting things. Maybe I want to get some new gear, get some new mounts, and I'll go back and do some old content. The point I'm trying to make is that if you're checked out of playing games and you haven't been excited to play games for a long time, giving World of Warcraft a go might be one of the best ideas you have. And for sure, go for that free or whatever it is to level 20, because it's totally worth it. I could keep talking forever and we could go on and on and on, and for some reason these talking videos do better. And so if you've all enjoyed this talking video again, let me know. There's loads of other reasons that it's got me excited about gaming, for the positive and the negative, and I'm looking forward to playing loads more World of Warcraft alongside other games. Kind of World of Warcraft has consumed me, as it seems to consume everyone for the past 6 months. But really, if you're thinking about playing World of Warcraft and you're not motivated to play games, pick it up and give it a go. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But if it is for you, you might have just found the game that reinvigorates your passion for gaming. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you subscribe. I'd love for you to leave a like, because it helps out with the algorithm. I'll catch you all later. Thanks for being here, everyone. Cheers.